Well, it's been a good couple of months, if not a couple of years, since we've had some IPT ladies action, and we're down here at Hartleyville Hockey Stadium in Cape Town. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Senior Ladies IPT 2021. It's been a long time coming, and we're very, very excited to see hockey back, especially the best players in the country battling it out for the IPT title. Any one of these teams will be fighting really hard to be the gold medalist come Saturday evening. And it's going to be exciting to see how this pans out over the next couple of days. Game 1, Northerns Blues, all the way from Pretoria, taking on the Western Province Penside. Game number 1 here at 10 a.m. My name's AJ Springzoek. We'll be with you throughout the week. I'm joined by Bryce West. Bryce, welcome.
How's it, AJ? Good to be here.
Yeah, you looking forward to it? What are you looking forward to most for the next couple of days?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to some top level hockey being played again and seeing who can be crowned the IPT champions of 2021.
Yeah, it's almost like there's not a lot at stake, but a lot of different things going on at the same time. You've got players that have just come back from the Olympics. You've got players that have retired, players that have been playing for a long time, the players that trying to stake a claim for their name in the SA ladies side. You know, they've got the junior, we'll talk about Junior World Cup now, but we've got Africa Cup happening in January. We've got the World Cup next year, June, July, in Belgium and the Netherlands for the ladies specifically. So you've got a lot of players obviously trying to just throw their names into that after the last Olympic cycle. And then another story happening is obviously the SA Under-21s, but the SA Under-21s playing at the tournament as valuable match prep for the Junior World Cup happening in Potchefstroom in December. And you've also got various other Under-21s playing in other teams that maybe didn't make the squad for IPT. So it will be fascinating to see how this week goes. There's a lot of different stories happening at the same time. And thank you all for joining us. We're bringing you this live stream all the way from Hartleyville. We bring you IPT 2021. Bryce, you've had a busy season of hockey. Are you looking forward to a little bit of a break after this week?
Yeah, it has been. We never had hockey for a while, and then I had too much hockey almost. But can you ever have too much hockey? But yeah, I'm looking forward to a little bit of off time and and then starting prep for the 2022 season.
Yeah, no doubt. This hockey season comes to an end, but a lot of players will obviously still be busy. Like we said, the Under-21s will still be preparing for the Under-21 World Cup in December, happening for the first time in South Africa in Potchefstroom. We're very excited to have that World Cup. Some of the best teams in the world will be joining us, and teams internationally are announcing their teams, announcing their squads. South Africa will most likely announce their squad shortly after IPT. We're a couple of minutes away here from game number 1 of IPT 2021. It felt like ages with this tournament. I think the last IPT we've had was actually an indoor IPT last year, March, just before all the various lockdowns. You've coached a few of these girls, particularly in the pen side. Any players that you're excited to see?
Well, yeah, there's a number, Chelsea Tomlinson, that plays on my club side. She was involved in she was invited to the SA Under-21 camp, and unfortunately just missed out on making the side. She had a fantastic season for me, and excited to see what she can do at this level. Yeah,
and also we've got 2 coaches, Ian O'Dear, very experienced, coaching the pen side. So we've got Warren Sangster, who's originally from Bloemfontein. Spent a lot of his time at University of Free State, playing in various Free State men's teams, Under-21 teams, Koffsie's varsity side, and now resides in Pretoria, and he's currently at Menlo Park, and he's looking after the Northerns ladies side. They've got a particularly strong side led by former national player Nicolene Blanche, and that experience is going to come in very, very handy throughout this week as Northerns plan their assault on the gold medal for IPT 2021. And we're very also Leanne Lawrence and skippering the side. She's also co-captaining the side, the pen side, with Rebecca Caps, as they look to also stamp their authority on IPT 2021. So we will have matches throughout the day, every day, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock will be the last game. So you'll be able to catch all the games live. If you are in the area, we would love you to come around and watch the game at Hartleyvale. We know that there are kids at school and work commitments and that, but if you are free, pop on down and head down to watch the IPT happening here in Cape Town. Like you said, we haven't had hockey in a very, very long time. Pens win the ball in midfield as they try and drive down the left-hand side, and Kaylee Marie with a great drive into the 25 as game starts, as Pens will be playing from right to left in their sky blue, and Northern's Blues playing in their traditional dark blue from left to right. Bryce, like we said earlier, I mean, it's a pretty exciting week. Lots of things going down. I mean, obviously, first real full season of hockey that we've had as Tegan Fourie wins a ball just inside. She's originally from KZN, now studying at Tux, having a great time there as Northern's driving down this right hand side, and they've got time to enter inside the T-point. She's looking for a pass inside. Shot comes in and it deflects, hits off a Pens stick, and it will be a free hit out to Pens early into the game. It's been a first real full season of hockey for most players around the country. That's going to add to an exciting week. I mean, the players have played quite a bit. The guys have played USA. A couple of players come back from the Olympics. So it should be a really, really exciting week.
Yeah, I think having that full season and, like you say, the girls coming back from the Olympics and USA and all of that, it's allowed everybody to get back into the groove a little bit more, which will obviously make the level of this IPT quite high. So really excited to see the teams and how they perform and who's actually going to stand out and what teams are going to go through and into those semis and finals and see who's going to be crowned 2021 champions. But it's always good to have a good start. I think you want to have your first game, settle the nerves and really put it out there.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting, and it's a question I'm going to pose to the coaches later on, and maybe I'll pose this to you as a coach. I mean, obviously the setup, generally in an IPT, you would have your on a normal time, you always used to juggle between 6 teams or 4 teams per pool, and then you would go into playoffs and top 2 plays in semi-finals. But the unique setting here is that all teams will qualify, all 4 teams will qualify for quarterfinals. So as a coach, knowing that, and I'll use your experience, and we'll be very interested to hear what the coaches, both Warren and Ian, have to say when we have a chance to chat to them. But what would your view be, knowing that you are going to be playing in a quarterfinal? Do you play so that obviously you finish as high as possible so that you play, let's say, team number 4 from the other group? Or do you play in a way that you start peaking in the quarterfinal irrespective of who you're going to play against?
Yeah, you actually said it there, exactly what I wanted to say about peaking at the correct time. You don't want to peak too early, and then when it gets to the crucial stages that you're really on your downfall. So I think it's important, like I said earlier, to get your nerves out the way and getting all the tactics right and playing some good hockey. But I think it's really important to start peaking just before you get to those quarters, and then no matter who you play against here, we've got some top quality sides. So whoever they come up against, you never know who's actually going to come out on top.
Yeah, so it's a fascinating opportunity, because we've seen it in the past. Teams can go unbeaten the whole group stage and then suddenly lose a playoff game and see themselves playing for 5th and 6th instead of playing for 1 and 2. So we've seen that quite a bit in the past, and no doubt teams will be looking at quite intently as the Marguerite van Wyk Peter play inside. She's got keeper to beat. Keeper's come out. It's gone through the keeper's legs, and I think that's me. Leanne Lawrence that clears the ball over the baseline, so it will be a penalty corner within the first 5 minutes of the game, as Northerns look the most dangerous currently at the start.
Yeah, Northern's definitely enjoying a bit more of the ball and a little bit better going forward at the moment, but I'm sure the Pens will settle down and look to come back into this, and excited to see what the first short corner of IPT 21 has in store for us.
Yeah, and also that Pen side, generally it's normally a younger side, but this has actually got quite a few experienced players in that side, so it should be really good to see us. Northern's push the ball out, double castle, flick comes in from Tegan Fourie, and ball still available, and keeper's cleared it out, and I think it's.
They can move the ball quickly. They've got a very good counter attack with lots of speed.
Yeah, green card there.
For a breakdown of play.
Yeah, Kutluano May, unfortunately, green card there, and she's broken down play. And umpire's not happy with that, as they, like you said, a good counter attack opportunity there. It's Annelies Rostron, who had a unbelievable opportunity for her to at the Olympics, and very happy to have her year down at IPT. It's Northerns with a man down, and they're just going to try and move the ball around a little bit. So moving down the left hand side, well tackled. Leanne Lawrence, captain from Pens, is Northern still very happy through. Kim Ubach and Nicoline Teblon, lots of experience at the back with the two of them. No doubt they're going to be controlling things a lot from the back and looking for their younger players in midfield and up front. One in midfield now by Pens, and Pens with a chance, and we've got Chelsea Tomlinson on the ball. She sprays it out wide to Jamie Chisholm. Jamie Chisholm's going to look to drive down. No, she passes it infield, and Chelsea Tomlinson again. She's driving through the 25. She's got numbers. The ball goes inside the circle, and there's an opportunity here, but well defended. Again, that experience of Nicolita Blanche and Kim Ubach coming through as they calmly just snuff out the first real attacking opportunity, or first real circle entry there by the Pens. Umpires, we've mentioned umpires. Nicole Boyson umpiring on the far side with Annelies Rostron here on the near side. The ball enters the circle, and Nicoline Blanche clears it out. So will be a sideline free hit, and Michelle Joubert, not a bad reserve umpire to have. Michelle Joubert,
yeah,
not a bad reserve
I
umpire.
think she knows a thing or two.
Another vastly experienced umpire has been.
Another circle entry by Pens. Well cleaned up there at the back by Denal van Tak.
Denal van Tak, who originally from Namibia, spent a bit of time in Potch at Northwest University, and now is a citizen of South Africa and residing in Pretoria. Also lots of international experience from Denal. Also, you know, Bryce, we've played together, and I know you've had lots to say about umpires when we're on the field. But surely it's a confident feeling if you're a player and you step onto a field and you see somebody like Annelies and Nicole on the field, knowing that they've umpired at the highest level. Especially Annelies, you know, been to the Olympics. That's the pinnacle of every umpire.
Yeah.
They're pretty confident as a player to know that they're looking after your game.
Yeah, definitely. I think in this new age, people aren't worried too much about the umpires. So as long as we've got umpires that can just control the game and manage it correctly, I think the players, all they really need to worry about when they step on the field is just playing and enjoying the game. Because without umpires, if you see 1-on-1 the keeper, it's great save by
Grace Cochran.
By Jana Marie Boot.
I think that was Grace Cochran who's in goal, starting for Pens, and really good save. She's had a really, really good high school career as a goalkeeper. Came through all the age groups, made some national sides. So Pens have definitely got a lot of talent in this team, especially when we start at the back. Meg Price Lewis on the ball, the big ball fed through, but it's hit a stick, and Annelies Rostron says play on, as driving down the right side, and well defended there by Meg Price Lewis, and she wins a free hit. As Pens now have a chance, there's still opportunity there for Northerns. Goes a begging.
Pens coming slowly a bit more into the game, enjoying a few more counters and a little bit more possession, but would like to see them just look after the ball just a little bit more. As you see, Northern's just a little bit of a missed trap, and it's a free hit out to Pens for a foot. It's a fantastic day at the Hartlepool Stadium in Cape Town. Not a cloud in sight, 23 degrees, absolutely fantastic weather. It's a great day for some IPT hockey. A little bit of a wind, blowing from right to left, and I'm sure that the teams looking to use the overhead will take that into consideration and try to use it to their advantage.
Yeah, listen, that wind is probably going to come in handy. If it wasn't, it would be a pretty warm day here in Cape Town. We're glad the sun is shining. We've had a few days last week where it was just a little bit hairy, windy, rainy, cold. You know, Cape Town always delivers weather like that. There's 5.5 minutes left on quarter number 1. Yeah, IPT day 1. Well received there. Zelfa stay on the ball. She's going to try and look to go forward, but she has no numbers forward. She looks for a big ball towards the right hand side, and it was unfortunately came off a pen stick, so it will be a free hit on the right hand side with Megan Fossler on the ball now. She's going to look to drive down. Rebecca Caps just closing her down, so Northerns will still have a free hit here on the right hand side as we see Warren Sangster and his team just shouting some instructions. He's got 1 or 2 players that he's missing in his Northern side now because some of his players will be playing in the SA under 21 side, but he's still got lots of quality and lots of depth there he can use as Northern's driving down this left hand side. They enter the T point now and they're going to look for an opportunity, and they find a penalty corner. Leanne Lawrence is saying that she's remonstrating with the umpire, but it's hit a foot, and it will be a penalty corner to Northerns as penalty corner number 2 here in the first quarter of match number 1 here at IPT 2021. Thank you very much for joining us. Also, you can drop us any messages, let us know where you're watching from. If you can't watch on YouTube, you can watch on the School Sports Live app. And if you're in the area, come pop in and come watch at Hartleyvale Hockey Stadium. Push out comes in, and it's Kim Ubach on the flick, and it beats Grace Cochran on the right hand side of a stick, and Northern's Blues, after their second penalty corner, now go 1-0 up.
Very well executed, a drag flick there, as we used to call it, the banker, going into the bottom left there, and she's done it, and Northern's 1-0 up.
Yeah, good start. They've not panicked at all. They've not done anything. They've just tried to move the ball around, get a little bit comfortable, and no doubt if they've now scored 1 from 2s already from their penalty corner spot, they're going to try and look to keep that penalty corner percentage nice and high. It's Pens. They have a free hit now on the left hand side. Megan Price Lewis, she drives down, she looks for a pass on the right hand side. She finds Noelle van der Walt. Umpire not happy with where the free hit's been taken. She's got to take it back. One thing you'll notice that the umpires are very, very strict as to the free position inside the 25. I don't think they're too phased about the position between the 25s and the middle of the field, but definitely inside the 25s they'll be watching that quite closely. There's Chelsea Tomlinson driving with the ball. Well defended. Will be a long corner. Just quickly, I mean, it's only been 12 minutes and teams are still feeling themselves. A great ball across the boxes. Ball comes inside the circle, and there's still a chance now. Chelsea Tomlinson's shot comes in. Umpire is playing advantage and continues to play advantage. No advantage given. There will be a penalty corner for Pens with 3 minutes to go for them to try and get an equalizer back. Bryce, we've only watched 12 minutes, and so it's very difficult to maybe gauge what the teams are doing. But have you seen any standout tactical aspects that have stood out so far? Is it just a little bit too early to tell?
Yeah, I think it's going to come sooner or later, but at this moment I think the team's just settling down, getting used to the turf, the weather, and first game nerves. It's always high, especially the Pens coming up against the Northern Blues. You see Lizzie push out, and it's Michelle Bennett with a straight poke with a well run out. Danger not over yet. Ball still inside the D, and it's well defended there by the Northern Blues.
Yeah, Megan Foster with a good, just calmly winning the ball.
But yeah, from the Northern's point of view, they look to hold on to the ball. They look to create opportunities with their outlet and using their back four and their 2 fetchers in the middle. And Pens, I think, still need to get a little bit more control of the game, a little bit more ball, and you'll be able to see what they're looking to do. It's a fantastic base that the Northern Blues have with the left half receiving the ball above the halfway line. They're really stretching the provincial press, or the Pens press, should I say. It's a lovely backhand in, but
I think he's hit the back of the stick there. Yeah, we're closing down in quarter number 1. It's probably Northerns have edged this, besides the scoreline, Northerns have probably edged this possession and territory-wise, but Pens have had fair bit of opportunity. They've defended well for the first couple of minutes before the penalty corner the 2 penalty corners that they conceded. And closing down here is Meg Price-Lewis again. Big ball inside the middle of the field. She finds Leanne Lawrence, but well defended by Nicolene Blanche. Well stepped through. It's something that they're probably going to look to do quite a bit. Is step herself or Kim Eubach all the way through the field to pick up that extra man in midfield. And you almost don't need to coach that of the two of them, because I mean the two of them have been doing it for so many years. They know exactly when they need to do it. When is hitting a place already lifted dangerously as Nydia Vermeulen now on the free. It is playing with Northern's playing with 2 strikers at the moment. They're just changing things up a little bit up front. Big ball into the middle, but unfortunately not to anyone for Pens, and Nicolene Branch picks it up. Unfortunately, also another pass, Chelsea Tomlinson in that midfield area. She's looking for numbers forward, but unfortunately she doesn't have many, and she's going to have to try and hold the ball up. Stick tackle comes in. Umpire also not happy with that. Micah Masetso Marakwane, unfortunately, stick tackle, and umpire not happy at all with that challenge. So Northerns have a free hit. They still got a man. They got another man down. As they look to drive down the right hand side, and it's a yellow card given by
second breakdown of play. And first one is obviously the green card, and next one gets upgraded to the yellow.
Yeah, well, that comes to the end of quarter number 1. Northern's holding a 1-0 lead, but I think Warren will just have a quiet word with these players to not get carried away. They've made a few two irrational challenges. Both have gone down for cards. Umpires have laid down the marker straight away and have made it very clear. But I think he will be generally happy with the way his team has played. I think Ian Odia on the Pen side, he's going to ask his Pens. Obviously, they haven't, as you see on the screen, they haven't got any shots on target. They've got 1 circle penetration, 2 total shots, but unfortunately not gone in, not on target. I think they've got to try and get a few more. That's definitely something that they'll be working on. But we'll just take a short little break and see you in a minute or two. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for quarter 2. Northern's Blues holding a 1-0 lead over Pens. Kim Eubach slotting a penalty corner, drag flick, bottom left corner at about the 11th minute of the game. There's 4 left in the game there, slotted, but they are playing with the man down currently. There was a yellow card given to Northern's Blues, Micah Mesitso Marakwane, and she will be spending 5 minutes off, so they'll still be playing with the man down for at least the next 4 minutes. His Pens will look to try and get that goal back to equalize. My name's AJ Spirinzuk, and I'm joined by Bryce West as Rebecca Caps now on the ball. Currently she's going to try and look to get something else. She's got numbers forward. Ball comes in and it hits the post. And there was an golden opportunity. Lots of numbers inside the circle, especially Amadane Klaassen on that post, and she just couldn't put the ball in. As it's a long corner, so it must have come off a keeper and deflected. Great opportunity there, Bryce, for them to equalize early on in the start of the second quarter, sorry.
Yeah, golden opportunity there. It's right at the beginning. I'm sure they would have loved to see the ball going to the back of the net, but good positive start by the Pens, looking to come out and get onto the scoreboard. That's another circle entry for them, so hopefully we'll see a little bit more from them this game. I think this chukka, I thought they were a little bit quiet in the first chukka, but like I said, could be first game nerves and just settling down. And yeah, hopefully we have a great game on hands. We see Chelsea Tomlinson on the ball, very skillful, loves to get the ball in the air.
Another top mark shot comes in, go beats the keeper, and it's 1-1. As we just spoke about it, there's some firepower in that Pens lineup. And a goal scored, 1-1, as Amy Pote scoring a phenomenal tomahawk shot from the left-hand side. Is 1-1 now, as still Northern's Blues with a man down. It's exactly what Ian Nordier would have asked of them in the first chukka, in the chukka break, as they again win the ball. They've got numbers forward again. Rebecca Cap, she's got numbers on the right-hand side, but unfortunately doesn't pick it up, and not a successful pass, but this is definitely going to put a spring in the Western Province Pen side step as they still continue with the ball. We just need to tie up a little bit. Things are just a little bit scrappy here and there, but I reckon we talk about that first game opportunity as Northern's now with a chance and a good little opportunity driving down the right hand side. It's Marguerite van Wyk driving towards and hits a stick from Leanne Lawrence, and well picked up, and Rebecca Caps again, Marty's player. She's got the ball under control and she's got lots of pace, and she's going to try and drive down. Big ball inside. Again, not picked up, but definitely a phenomenal start here by Western Province Pens. As again, Amadane Klaassen just couldn't get to the end of it, but she's really finding herself in a really good positions that her forwards can feed the ball to. Yeah, but a nervous couple of minutes there from Northern Blues.
Yeah, some very good play by the Pens, come out firing in the second chukka. Obviously, Coach Inode had something to say at the chukka break, and it's really got through to the girls. I'm sure Northerns are now going to look to get back into the lead, and once they get back to numbers, and I'm sure they're going to look to not have more players off the rest of this game, as already had 7 minutes of players without. As we see, another circle entry. She's gone to South, and it's great save by Grace Cochran. It's a backstick in, and Grace has kicked it into one of her players, and it is a penalty corner to the Northern Blues.
Yeah, it's a good little, I can say good little period of play there for Northerns, but also a bit of a shaky period from Pens. After they scored the goal, there's just one or two opportunities where they engaged the defenders a little bit more, lost the ball, and then got caught out a little bit at the back. And like we know, they've got numbers. You've got people like Kim Ubach, you've got Marguerite van Wyk, Tegan Fourie, all from the top. Can be pretty effective from the top. So Pens are definitely, if they're going to look to try and get an outcome from this game, they're going to limit the amount of penalty corners they give to Northern's Blues. Push it comes out for the second. Marguerite van Wyk on the flick, straight to Grace Cochran, wild trap, but the ball's still available, and ball goes through keeper, and Sam Smuts will now try and get the ball under control as she is hounded by Northern's defenders. Very well done, one very good free. She takes it quickly and tries to find numbers forward, but there's another opportunity. Taking the ball quickly, you've just gone through a little period of defending. Maybe slow the game down a little bit. You've got some experienced players on the opposite side that love those types of opportunities. So
yeah, definitely. If you're going through a bit of a shaky time, it's nice just to slow the game down, let everybody just settle down, get the energy back up, and just control the game a little bit more. I think Pens are rushing their attacks just a little bit too much, which is turning into a bit of turnovers, and then again the attack just comes straight back at them.
Yeah, we had a brief glimpse of Ian O'Dear just having a chat. He's got Ilse Davids as assistant coach in his bench, so there's also lots of international experience there that he can call on for her. And it's just so cool that we're at a tournament where we've got players that have played at various different levels various different places around the country. I mean, I'm also excited, and we've got this game here, and we've got all the other provinces that have got games later on, and it's just so exciting that we get to see all of these players in one place fighting for a gold medal at the end of this. Is Rebecca Caps with a great drive, and she's got numbers forward, and Nicolita Blanche hunting her down. Ball comes inside the circle, but unfortunately no. And then one difference already I can see is Rebecca Caps on the ball a lot more in quarter 2 than what we saw in quarter 1, and she's definitely been influential throughout this quarter, and one of the reasons why that goal was scored as well.
Yeah. And it looks like Province are looking to attack down the right hand side just a little bit more. In the first tracker we saw them attacking on the left, but yeah, obviously have found a way through on the right hand side there.
Lots of pace up front there from Pens, eh?
Yeah, lots of pace, lots of skill. I'm sure they're going to want to use that.
Tegan Free just on the ball, and also she'll slot into that midfield area, so there will be between her and Nicolita Blanche. There's a nice overhead goes across to, it's that Megan Frost is on the ball, and she feeds the ball through, and unfortunately just a little bit too far for Marguerite van Wyk. Marguerite van Wyk also been thick of the action since the start of this game. Is she's had a fair bit of opportunities, and she's going to want to get a few more outcomes from every time she enters the circle. Is Nadefa Melon on the ball now, and she finds Michelle Tallis on the far side. Michelle Tallis with the ball inside the middle. Good feed in. Well won there, Noelle van der Walt. She wins a free hit. And this is the type of thing that we were discussing at the start. I mean, get a little bit of ascendancy and just go stick to stick. Tendency to try and get the ball on the opposite side of the field as fast as possible. See Chelsea Tomlinson with the ball inside, and Noelle van Wyk on it at the moment. There's a bit of a scrap, and not tackled there by, I think that's Kim Hubach. Again, that experience coming through of holding their areas nicely, and no doubt they're going to be demanding a lot from their Northerns Blues teammates as Northerns are back to full numbers. Like we said, that we thought that one of those cards would maybe be their downfall, and that second yellow card went down straight into, while they were playing with one man down. Penn scored the equalizer. Province now, or Penn's now on the left hand side. And then Clarkson unfortunately losing the ball is Megan Fossler again down this right hand side. She's going to look for Marguerite van Wyk. Ball just unfortunately goes over the sideline. It will be a free to the Penn side as we're 7 minutes away from the end of quarter 2. Thank you very much for joining us. Myself, AJ Spearingshoek, and Bryce West are here with you for game number 1. It's a good win there. It's Xantha van Zyl. She's driving towards her. She finds Marguerite van Wyk inside the circle, and well tackled, but there's a shot that comes in, and that's what Marguerite van Wyk has been looking for since the start of the game and since the time that she's been driving inside the circle. It's a great win in midfield by Xantha van Wyk, and then a great pass across. Marguerite van Wyk losing it initially, but then getting it back and slotting it past the keeper as Northern Gauteng, the Northerns Blues, take a 2-1 lead over the Western Province Pens here in match number 1 of IPT 2021. Good movement throughout the side. What could have Pens done a little bit differently at the back there? Because it just seems like every now and then they're doing very well moving the ball out. It's just a bit shaky, a few holes in defense. What are the things that could be done differently?
Yeah, I think just the passing and receiving, I think, can be just a little bit sharper. It's a little bit slower and a bit not as dynamic as I think Coach Ian Nadir would want them to be around the back. But yeah, I think again, I can't take it away from Northern Blues. It's a fantastic strike. Grace Cochran had no chance of that perfect strike going in, but I'm sure Pens are going to want to get back into the game with 5.5 minutes to go. They had a good first opening 8 minutes of the second tracker, but it maybe just looked a little bit tiring out towards the end here. So I'm sure they can just slow the game down in crucial areas and make sure that they keep the intensity up when they do want to go forward.
So we just got a message to say that some of the Weinberg girls, the grade 11 geography class, are busy supporting the Pens. Now, if I had a teacher like that at school that put IPT on TV or on our screen while we were in class, that would just be the best teacher ever. So thank you, Akifa Abrams, for letting us know the Weinberg girls grade 11 geography class. I hope I don't know if the rest of the staff knows, but we hope it's okay. We do not endorse illegal watching of YouTube activity, but if your teacher says it's okay, we're happy with that. So thank you, Akiva Abrams, for letting us know that you guys are watching from your classrooms, and hopefully this weekend we'll be able to see you at the playoffs. You can come watch it live in the stadium here at Hartleyville Hockey Stadium. And Alphen Tark winning the ball in midfield, and she's going to just look for Nicoline to Blanche. Down Megan Foster down the right hand side. Massive scrap there with the Lizzie Stain. Tegan Ferrier across. She's going to look for Henri Smith, and Henri Smith's going to look to drive inside the 25. Looking for numbers forward, and she passes it, but Lydia van Bellen standing in the way. 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. So we tick down towards half-time, and it would be a fly on the wall to have. Fascinating to hear the conversations from the coaches and the players in at half-time. Nicoline to Bosch wins the ball comfortably as she looks to try and now build it. Northern's getting numbers forward as they try and stretch the field.
So AJ, what do you think that the Western Province Pens team need to improve on in the second half to get back into this game?
I think from a tactically they've not been that bad on going forward. I think they are doing very well when they're on their counter attack by finding other players. Breakdown tackle there by one of the Pens players, and will be a penalty corner there to Northerns. So they look to extend their 2-1 lead. I just think that there are just a few moments on defense where they ball watching a little bit, and maybe also just picking up, not really filling the areas that need to be filled. And I think that, and it's not all the time, it's just 1 or 2 opportunities or occasions that they do it. I think if they go forward, there are a few opportunities where they don't see a passing option and they're just hitting it forward and hoping that one of their strikers get on the end of it. But we have seen that when they've gone at a counter attack and they've moved the ball from stick to player, they've been really, really dangerous. Push out comes as Tegan Free on the flick, and it hits a body, and umpire says play on. And I think it hit the glove of Lydia van Bellen, and Annelies Rossens right there, so she would have seen it hit. Lydia's got
That's what you want out of your postman behind the goalkeeper, eh?
Behind the goalkeeper, hitting the glove. Oh, it's a really Grace. Ball past Grace, and hits the postman on the glove. We thought it hit the body, and players were just quickly asked if there was maybe hit the body, but it didn't. Lydia van Bellen passes out to Michelle Tullis. Michelle Tullis looking for options. One other thing that they could do is maybe an extra player in midfield on their build-up. At the moment, there's only one player there. You can see it's Chelsea Tomlinson, and at the moment, you see when she feeds the ball back out, there needs to be another player leading into that space again.
Yeah, definitely.
I think at the moment it's just her, and I think that's something that Northerns have picked up quite quickly, because they've pushed 3 midfielders almost into a very narrow area into the field.
Yeah, it seems they're pressing the 2 up front and 4 in the midfield. So as soon as they try to play the ball in the midfield, you can see Chelsea Tomlinson is always going to be outnumbered there. So very good pressing tactics here from Northerns, looking to create high turnovers, high risk, high reward, eh? So they turn over just outside the 23. It's not that far to go to get an outcome.
Ball lifted dangerously as Northern's got some space forward here. Retabile Mosamaka, she plays the ball in, but it's won by Leanne Lawrence, and then Leanne winning a free hit, so it will be a 16-yard free hit, and you can see them, Northern's pressing really high, and there's that high press, and they win the ball. They've got numbers forward, ball comes inside the circle, and a push there by Michelle Tellis. Umpire not happy with that, as Matapelo Pizzo tries to pick the ball up, but Michelle with just a nudge in the back. It will be another penalty corner with 1.5 minutes to go on the clock to the end of quarter number 2. We also thank our sponsors, Fourways Online, as well as Balcatech Sport, for their sponsorship of the tournament. And thank you again for joining us, everyone. It's day 1 here, match number 1 of IPT, Senior Ladies IPT 2021. As a push shot comes out from Northern's Blues. Mistrap, but Nicole Interblanche back inside. Tegan Fariz on the ball. Tomahawk shot comes in and it's lifted. Unfortunately, not a goal. That was the first shot at goal and it was lifted, but a good movement. I think it was a forced movement because it wasn't. I think the push shot was just slightly wide and.
Good little zigzag.
Yeah, we all just love a good zigzag.
Liam Lloyd, welcome to the stream.
Liam will be watching this closely. He's got Jamie Chisholm and Michelle Bennett from his Milnerton Hockey Club that we're playing in the Penn side, so he's been watching this game quite carefully as Lydia from Whelan tries to win a free hit, and she does. You know, it's these opportunities now there. They've just got to keep moving, and it's still they've lots of numbers forward, but it's quite a bit of work to get the ball there. And again, another turnover that Ian O'Dear will not be happy about, and he's going to hope that the clock ticks away quite quickly so he can have a word to his team at half time here. Ball comes in, and we've got Noelle van der Walt. She's under a bit of pressure, but she's still got the ball under control. She wins a free, she takes it quickly. She's going to look for numbers up front, and she finds, I think that's Medane Klaasen. Medane Klaasen passes the ball to Leanne, and then Leanne tries to find her again, and unfortunately just too far.
And that'll be it for the first half. Northerns 2, Western Province Pens 1. AJ, who do you think the happier coach going into this?
Listen, I mean, it's always good to have a 2-1 lead. I think both coaches will have slightly mixed feelings about it. I think if you look at Ian would be very happy with his team getting that goal back, but he would be disappointed with some of the little small errors that they're making going forward. A lot of big balls that they're trying to find that he wouldn't be happy about, and you'd be trying to tighten up his defense a little bit. I think from Northern side, I think for them, they would be happy with the 2-1 lead, but I think they'll be a little bit frustrated that they haven't got more outcomes from all the circle entries that they've had, and they would be disappointed just with the 2 cards that they've got and the goal that they've conceded. So it is a bit of a mixed bag, but I mean, I guess with a scoreline of 2-1, I think Northerns would be the slightly happier going into the halftime break. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. We're glad that we can bring you some live coverage here from the Hartleyville Hockey Stadium. Like I said, you can either come down, if you are in the area, come down to Hartleyville and watch some of the games, or you can watch it on YouTube, the ES Media YouTube channel, or Supersport Schools app. And from myself, AJ Experience and Bryce, we're going to take a little break, and we'll see you before the start of the second half. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the about to start quarter number 3, as we have a look at the Penn side. Really, they can be happy with the way they've played thus far. I think a lot of things that they've got to work on, but no doubt with Ian O'Dear and his coaching staff with him, no doubt they'll have enough experience to get the team right as they start their war crying. Warren Sangster on the far side. You never can tell what Warren Sangster's feeling like. The man always either looks upset or he looks happy, but you can never really gauge his behavior. But no doubt he's got all his ducks in a row and he's got his team ready as we're about to start quarter number 3. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching. My name's AJ Spirinzuk and I'm joined by my co-commentator Bryce West. Myself and Bryce and a few other of the commentators will be with you throughout the week until the final game on Saturday night at 4 o'clock. It was anybody's guess as to who's going to be in that final. That should be pretty exciting. Ian O'Dear there we see. Ilza Davids with him as Penn's playing from left to right. And there, maybe in the sky blue, sorry. And there we see Ian O'Dear having a chat, and as David says, his assistant coaches. Northern's Blues on the ball at the moment. You see they'll be playing from, on your screen, right to left. They're playing with the wind currently. So moving down the right hand side, and just ball goes over the sideline. Bryce, you been happy with that first half?
Yeah, I think it was a well contested first half. I think Penn's looked really good in patches, and I'm sure that Coach Ian O'Dear would want to have those patches a little bit longer in the second half and really get outcomes, because they've got some quality players in there. But Northern's definitely had the upper hand in that first half, I think, overall, in terms of possession and territory. And I think their structure looked really good, and they really tested the Western Province Penn's press, and if they never had answers, they got quite a few outcomes and got quite a few penalty corners. So I'm sure they would want to keep that momentum going and start the tournament off with a win.
Yeah, I think something for Northerns, if they're going to want to, it's early to say that big ball comes in, and see now Western Province Pens have made a goalkeeper swap. Jean-Marie Boertes is now in goals, as they made a swap with Grace Cochran. And Northerns again with the ball on just on the left hand side. That they entered the circle there, or entered the 25 through Kiara Fitzhenry, but Tegan van der Vat on the ball. She's going to look to move the ball around the back. Very experienced back four that Northern's have. Penn's happy to sit back. Big ball comes inside the circle, and it is picked up by Penn's, and they've won a free hit. You see again the Penn's players. Quite a warm day, even sitting in the commentary box is pretty warm because we don't feel that wind.
Yeah, Jay, first thing I can clearly see different from the Penn side is they've got three midfielders closer to the back four, so it's not just Chelsea being isolated there. So I think that was something that was spoken about at half time, just to have a few more players for the back four to outlet into the midfield. and maybe free up the outside backs to go on the overlap run. It'll be interesting to see how Pens go forward in the second half.
Yeah, it also means that they've probably got to be a little bit more patient as well. Keep feeding those midfield players. They've moved the ball well out. Unfortunately, Ian Loans couldn't get the ball off a stick. But they win it again. Sam Smuts here on the right hand side. He feeds the ball in. And I think that's any point that is on the ball. Umpire not happy. And Kim Ubach just directing the ball away from play. A very experienced little move. Ian Loans
can't buy experience.
Yeah. Big ball in. Dunal van Taak winning the ball and lost in midfield, but there was no advantage from the first hit as Kim Ubach is looking overhead. Big ball now across and not controlled by any of the players. It looks to go over the baseline. They're looking to use that little wind advantage that they now have. Look for players on the other side of the field. They have stretched it, and we were saying earlier, Pens are probably just going to be a little bit more patient now. Feed the ball into midfield, move the ball back to the back four, try to create some space down the outside, like you said, people like the Rebecca Caps. And Amadane Klaassen, Amy Pote, strong down that right hand side, so they're going to look for that space on that side.
It was nice to see Northern still implementing that full press, not allowing Pens to settle down at all in the second half and putting them under maximum pressure, and they've actually won the ball off every single outlet here. So good start for the Northern Blues here.
Yeah, good start, and they're now going to need to turn that into some sort of outcome. As you see, Annelies Rostron is inside the circle again. They just want to get some sort of outcome. Unfortunately, no outcome just yet. So Western Province Pens will have a 16-yard free hit on the right hand side. Northern's now with an opportunity. They're driving. Centre van Wyk, Tomahawk shot comes in and it hits a stick, but she's still got it under control as two players fight for the ball on that side, and they carries on. And Umpire is happy with the little scrap that they had as Northerns have a free hit on the sideline. Free hit. As remember, we still got a long day of hockey ahead of us. Western Province Pens here taking on Northern's Blues in a stick challenge. Just outside T-point there from Pens play, and they've conceded a penalty corner, and this is the start of those outcomes that the Northern's Blues want to get. You know, they haven't. It's not been as smooth as probably they would have liked. They definitely want to now get another outcome from this.
Yeah, and that's it's a couple of times they've done it in this game already, where the outside half rotates infield and they have one of their fetchers rotate to the outside, creating that space on the outside there, and the defenders really high up there in that last attack, really using all their players going forward, and well done as they won another penalty corner.
Push comes out and will be a slip flick as Kim Ubach flicks it and hits a Northern's Blues player on the line, unfortunately.
And there was a little bit of advantage there. Pens had huge numbers up against Northern's there, but unfortunately no advantage from there.
And just a reminder, like we said, we've got lots of games. 3 more games after this. Is Michelle Tallis with the ball down the right, but it's picked up there by Henry Smith as she feeds it in midfield. Tegan Free unfortunately turned over, and Rebecca Caps on the ball. She's got numbers on the right, and Watson, Morgan's blue stick comes to Amy Pote. Amy Pote's going to drive down that right hand side. Nel van Taak looking quite surprised at the challenge. Umpire saying it's not happy with the way the tackle came in. And there's a golden chance now for Pens to, after quite a lot of pressure that they were under, to try and equalize. As we tick away 6 minutes into quarter 3. And just a reminder, next game 12 o'clock will be Free State versus KZN Coastals. 2 o'clock will be Southern Gauteng taking on the South African under-21 side, and then the host team, Western Province, will be taking on Eastern Province at 4 o'clock. All here at the Hartleyville Hockey Stadium. You can watch it on YouTube, the School Sports Live app. Pens now. Push out comes in just to the side. Rebecca Caps, the shot comes in. Saved by the keeper, Nicolina Blanche picking it up and clearing it out, but it's not danger, not cleared. And
I think Paynes will be a little bit disappointed with that injection. And penalty corner was a fantastic opportunity to come back into the game. And you got to be clinical in games like this when you're getting chances few and far between. You got to make sure that your penalty corners are waxed.
Execution is what the Penn side is going to be, what the Penn's coaches will be asking for. And as you say, that they're happy to sit back and allow Northerns with the ball. Fed very well down the right hand side, and there's a little touch. Marguerite van Wyk on the ball at the moment. She feeds it inside, and it's header foot, so she'll have a free just outside as all the Penn's players move away. 2v1 down that right hand side as Alpha stay on the ball. She drives it inside and cleared there by John-Marie Burtis, but Northern still with the ball. Smith now on the left hand side. Feeds it back, captain Nicolina Blanche. Looking to move the ball around. It's a good little one touch. There's lots of space. She's going to try and get the ball and drive. Is that Megan Foster who drives inside the circle? Ball comes in. Shot opportunity. She's taken a swing, but it was a good touch there by Leanne Lawrence to get the ball away from Marguerite van Wyk. An umpire saying it was dangerous. As now Penn's Jamie Chisholm down the right hand side. She had numbers inside, but she's lost the ball. Kudwana May has driven inside the circle. She's hit her foot, and it will be another penalty corner to Northern's Blues. It's a little defensive error again, and a few more of those errors creeping in with the Western Province Penn side. Definitely something that they're going to want to eliminate if they want to get an outcome from this game. But if they can't keep doing this and giving opportunity to Northern Blues, they might see themselves on the opposite end of winning this game.
Yeah, the quality team like Northern Blues, the more opportunities you give them, they are going to start taking them with both hands. And they're racking up the amount of penalty corners here, so I'm sure Payne would want to tighten up a little bit more at the back. This is a straight poke, and it is a goal.
Yeah, great shot, the good old-fashioned straight hit from Kiara Fitzhenry. And Northern's Blues slowly start edging their way away from Western Province Pens with Kiara Fitzhenry, number 9. What a finish. It's a good old-fashioned little smack, you know.
Well, if you have strikers, you can hit the ball. Why would you not going to give them a free shot inside the DA?
I know you favour that because you like that, and you couldn't do anything else but hit the ball really hard.
Back in the day, that was mere pieces.
Yeah, Northern's Blues taking extending their lead 3-1 here. Definitely been the stronger side in quarter 3. Really set a foot wrong. Just happy to string the ball around as Pens have now got quite a challenge ahead of them, but still lots of time. Still got 6 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. So maybe it goes across, but not controlled by Pens, but Northern's Blues still have the ball. Down the right-hand side, but Northern's will have the free sideline feed. It's Henry Smith here on the left-hand side. Feeds it into midfield. Is it Emily Steenkamp? And the feed just inside the hockey. Nice ball from Tegan Free outright. Big ball comes inside the circle, and they're going to look to try and get an outcome. Free comes in, hits the keeper on the chest. And there is a penalty. I'm about to say the penalty corner. It's actually a long corner as Western Province now still defending as Northern's Gauteng will pushing hard. They're getting countless number of circle entries. Ball comes in. It's a great little 1-2, and Tegan Free at the end of a great pass from Marguerite van Wyk, taking, almost stretching their legs now with the 4-1 lead. Just seems like the oil's got warm in the engine and getting stronger as the game progresses, and all those circle entries and getting some good outcomes here. Penn's driving down this right hand side and look for something. Lost the ball again as Alpha Stair well picked up in midfield as they've won a free hit. And as she wins it, she runs off and she subs with Matapelo Pizzo. Only sweeping the free down from this left hand side. Again, they'll be very happy moving the ball around there. They're now looking to find that overlap on the right hand side.
Yeah, Northern's looking very, very good in this third chakra and taking their opportunities and extending the lead to 4-1. And as you said, they're getting quite a lot of circle entries down that right hand side with the overlap, and you can see the outside backs are definitely getting involved in all the attacks. And Province Pens are just struggling to deal with the extra numbers. Province defending with all 10 players back, so it's just a little bit tough when there's so many players there and no one's sure who to step on who. And Northerns are taking the opportunities at the moment and putting Province under huge pressure. So well done to the Northern Blues.
Yeah, they've been very patient. They've stuck to their defending, as we see Lizzie Stein driving through the middle of the field.
I'd like to see Province just connect a little bit more with each other. It's almost big balls and then one-on-ones, as we see a circle entry by Rebecca Caps. And it's a fantastic save by the goalkeeper, diving to the far post.
And a bit against
Is
the
that a
grain.
goal? It's a goal.
Rebecca Caps passed the ball across the field,
I think it's
hits
Amy
the
Pote.
keeper, and I think off Amy Pote,
Yeah.
it just went over the line. And
I thought the keeper had made the save there.
yeah, I was expecting maybe a penalty corner, maybe the keeper got stuck in her pads or something, and now Alanis Rostron giving a goal. Obviously, none of us saw it, as it ball just obviously rolled over the goal line. As Pens, against the run of play, get a second goal, and it's now 4-2. There's a little brief moment there for Northerns as they just let Pens back into the game just a little bit, and they're not going to want that. As a bigger overhead down to the right hand side. A great run from Nicolene to Blanche. She's driving towards the circle. She's got numbers inside. Ball comes in. Deflects off a stick, and Marguerite van Wyk. And what a response after conceding the second goal. Great overhead from Kim Hubach all the way into the right hand side. Wonderful overlap as Nicolene to Blanche receives it, feeds it inside the circle. Ball seemed to come off a keeper or a defensive player, and Marguerite van Wyk, who's been all over this game up front, slots number 5 for Northerns, as they've just really looking sharp in this third chakra.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, could that goal be the comeback of the Penn side and maybe get another one before the end of the third chakra to make it 4-3? But before I could even get that out, Northern Blues has extended the lead again by 3 goals and are 5-2 ahead now. So it's fantastic, as you say, comeback after that goal by the Northern Blues and just getting another one.
Also, a big change that we've noticed, Northern Blues weren't playing that overlap down the right hand side in the first half. They were very much keeping the ball stick to stick, and they were feeding ball through the middle and down the left. And now in the second half, almost with the wing behind them, they're like, well, let's overlap down the right. There's some space. Great overhead by Kim Hubach into Nicolene to Blanche, and great outcome. 5-2 to Northerns, as they don't seem to be stopping as the ball just enters the circle, and Pens try and get the ball out, and they win a free hit. As Pens now trying to resurrect something with a minute to go in the end of quarter 3. Sam Smuts currently on the ball. She's going to look for some pass to Meg Price Lewis on the left hand side. Good pass there to Noel van der Walt. Unfortunately, just losing it as a chance now is that Tando Chiti, who's also been quite influential in this third quarter, to play down that right hand side of defence, and she's overlapped right now. You see Ian O'Dear, he's got a lot of thinking to do. He's got 3 goals to try and pull back here in quarter 4. We'll slowly tick away to the end of quarter 3 as we've got 15 seconds on the clock.
AJ, what do you think Western Province Pens can come back from this, or do you think the Northern Blues have claimed the game and will just stamp the authority in the next chapter? Or what do Western Province Pens need to change to maybe get back into this game?
Well, driving inside the circle and time goes, and I think we've been in games long enough to know that even a 5-2 scoreline is tricky to come back from, but not impossible. And I think there are moments when Northern's Blues have like not fallen asleep, but just taken the foot off the gas at the back and opened up the gap for the Penn side. So it's definitely not impossible, but it is going to be a difficult ask because this Northern side, like you say, the experience of the senior players and the international experience they have is going to come through now. They will slow the game down. They're going to go stick to it. They're not going to take a lot of risks, and I think that's really what the Pens are going to be battling against. Like I say, not impossible, but will be very difficult. As we see Ian Odia just having a chat. And we're going to take a little short break, and we'll see at the start of quarter 4. Right, we're back here, ladies and gentlemen. It is quarter number 4 for game number 1 here at the Senior Ladies IPT for 2021. You're busy watching Northern Blues taking on the Western Province Pens, and Northern Blues holding a 5-2 lead over the Pens at the moment. It's just the third quarter. Pens seem to be, the Northern seem to be just getting stronger as the game going on. A few things they're gonna do, Bryce, on this Pens to try and get the outcome, get the 3 goals back that they need.
Yeah, I mean, 14 minutes to play and 3 goals down. I think you really got to throw the kitchen sink at it, and I'd love to see just a bit more aggression in the press, definitely from the province players. Maybe cutting the field a bit more. The back 4 of Northern Blues, very nice and widespread, big base, and it's creating lots of overlap opportunities for Northerns. And if Pens can just cut that field and just force them into one channel and just block them in that channel, overload the channel and try to create turnovers, I think that's where they're going to look strong, because on the counter-attack, a lot of speed, a lot of pace, and that's where they've actually looked good. So I think they're going to try to get a little bit more involved there, and yeah, I think a little bit more interplay between the players will be good going forward. There's a bit more connections and support play. But
man-to-man defense up front?
I'll go 100% man-to-man. I think over here, giving the back 4 a little bit too much time on the ball, which when you're chasing 3 goals, and I mean the experience that we know that they have, the Northerns have at the back, they're going to enjoy the space, not being put under pressure. And I think if we can put the Western Province Pens can put them under slightly more pressure, which will probably make them create a few more mistakes, and then that's where the Pens can maybe capitalize going forward. But if they're just going to hold back a little bit, I think it's going to be tough, as we see the captain creating the first turnover and a lot of space down the middle. Just missing Amy Poet over there, and should have been through one-on-one of the goalkeeper. And as I say, they create those turnovers and they can create those opportunities.
They definitely have the ability to know, because they've got lots
100%.
of firepower up front that can go do that. As Northerns have the ball inside the circle, ball just goes out. Isalva's there still on it. She's going to look for somebody to pass to, but at the moment she's just taking the player on, and she's want to free it and tries for that T-point, and I'm quite happy with that. The ball goes in and just picked up there from Kaylin Maria. She tries to clear the danger, but she's under a little bit of pressure. Northerns win it back again, and what they're going to do is try and feed it inside, and they have feed it inside the circle, trying to get a shot. But Leanne Lawrence very well on defense, and she takes it really quickly. She's got numbers forward. Ball goes in, and it's just a little bit too far, but they're still getting a chase on. as Amy Pote gets the ball just before the baseline, and she's going to try and get some outcome from this. Rebecca Caps on the ball, shot comes in, and Henri Smith getting the stick in, and really another good opportunity, but well defended there by Northern's Blues with less numbers, and there's a few players that are breathing a little bit deeply on the field.
I think the game's going to open up quite a bit now as we see Western Province are going to be pushing to go score some goals, which is obviously going to leave them a little bit stretched. So when Northern's turn the ball over, I'm sure they're going to enjoy a few counter-attacks or fast breaks as well.
Yeah, I see Northerns have done a goalkeeper sub. I think they see Charlie Swanepoel, who's done most of our hockey at Mpumalanga. She's playing for Northern Gauteng now. She replaces Amelie Klaassen. She's going to get the last 12 minutes, the last 11 and a half minutes in this game. And she currently in the South African ladies indoor squad.
It's a great line break there by Chelsea Tomlinson and Speed Klaassen, and the one-on-one of the goalkeeper. Her first action, what's going to happen? And it's a great save there by Charlie Swanepoel, who's just stepped onto the field. Klaassen still on the ball, showing some great skill. And it's Lizzie Stan, and it's a save on the line. It's still in there, very scrappy.
Oh, that is such a golden opportunity. Ball goes inside. Amadane Klaassen with such a great opportunity. First touch of the ball for Charlie Swan. So much happened there. Charlie Swan first on the ball. Great receive. Amadane picking the ball back up, passing it across. I'm not sure who it was, and a player could not push the ball over, just put it into the back of the net. A little bit of a goal line strap, and Northerns just breathe a sigh of relief. And you know, it's almost like those are the opportunities that Pens need to take to get back in this. And you say now, you look at that, they scored that 5-3, it opens up the last 10 and a half minutes of this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Big timers. Leanne Lawrence on the ball, she wins a free, so she's got some space, she's got numbers on the right. Ball goes in, Lizzie Stain, she's going to look for Tomok shot, hits the foot. Umpire plays on, but it is a penalty corner, there's no advantage. He hit the foot and keeper made a save, and things are opening up big time here as Pens are looking to pull back this game. And with 10 minutes to go, and them looking with all the energy that they have at the moment, it's almost, if you're the neutral supporter, you almost want it to happen. You want to make this game exciting.
Yeah, definitely. You always want it to go down to the wire, and most of the neutrals will always be supporting the underdogs. So I'm sure there's a lot of Pen supporters out there, and they need to take this opportunity over here. Let's hope we can get a good injection. We have Leanne Lawrence and Kaylin Marie at the top.
Not well controlled, and they've got a chance. The ball's outside the circle again, and ball flicks, and unfortunately flicks it dangerously.
Just gets in the hook there of Rebecca Cap's stick and goes a little bit dangerous into the left.
You know, we say this often, but there's two opportunities there for Pens to have scored, and that two opportunities makes it 5-4, and it sets up an epic last 10 minutes of the game. They still got a chance. You see, Northerns have brought back Nicolene to Blanche into the field, so she's going to try and
stabilize the defense a little bit. Yeah, being a B-side in the senior IPT, opportunities that you get like that are ones that you definitely have to take with both hands. And there's been two golden opportunities to get back. You put those two in the back of the net, it's actually 5-4.
Yeah, ball goes in and just over the line. Leanne Lawrence looking for a big ball, trying to find a ball across. Yeah, Pens here with the ball. They've still got just under 9 minutes to go. Big ball inside, but hits a foot, so it will be a free to Pens. And for the first time, Northern's got all their numbers back. They're very happy to sit back and defend here. They've got a comfortable, I say comfortable, but they've got a three goal cushion at the moment. I'm not going to want to concede any goals, but Pens are looking hot. Big ball comes in, hits a Northern stick in. Dunel van Taak with all that experience with Namibia, just calmly gets the ball out. Zelfs there driving down this left-hand side. They're looking for numbers forward. Really good work. Marguerite van Wyk, who's been in the action all game. Inside the circle, she's going to look for. She's got numbers inside. Tomahawk shot comes across and hits the keeper's pads. It will be a long corner. Just a very, very comfortable counter-attack down the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's good line running there by Zelfs. Marguerite holding a play up and just getting ahead of her and finding good connections and a good little 1-2s down the side there and entered and got another circle entry. Northern Blues looking very comfortable in possession here, and I'm sure they are going to be a top contender to take the IPT title this year.
Yeah, they're always going to be a difficult team to play against, and they'll definitely be up there come the end of the tournament. But one thing Pens have definitely got to do now is they've got to press a little bit higher. There's only 7 minutes left. They've got to put them under a little bit more pressure. And I think Northerns are so comfortable at the moment. There's not under much pressure as they feed the ball in. As the Pens win a free hit and they take it quickly and streaming numbers forward. And there we go. There's a chance. Aberdeen Klassen running towards the ball, but Charlize Swanepoel happy to clear the danger. And you would think that if there was a high press at that point, that they would have numbers up front much sooner.
Yeah.
To get at least go stick to stick, because at the moment they're feeding it into space, because that's obviously the only space that they can give the ball to. They're just not able to get player quality ball towards their forwards.
Yeah, I'd even like to see them leave a striker hanging up. One, maybe even two. They don't have much to lose, so I'd like to see Pens just leave 1 or 2 players high up, so when they do get that count, instead of feeding into space, they can hit someone high with players coming through and helping to support. And I'm sure that will also push the Northern's defenders a little bit back and create that space that Pens can use their speed and skill to attack in.
Yeah, we start slowly ticking away towards the end of game number 1. It's been a really, really exciting start here. Big ball crossing in. With all the defending that the Pens have been doing, they don't have many numbers forward, unfortunately, and many opportunities for them to go forward, so they've got to push a little bit higher. The umpire asking them to bring that ball back a little bit. Here we see Michelle Joubert, who just come back from umpiring at the Olympics. What an experience that must have been. Move the ball down the right hand side, Kim Liebach, down the left hand side, apologies, Kim Liebach feeding the ball on the inside. And she has Tegan Free on the ball. At the moment, Tegan will look for overlap down the right. So we slowly tick away to the end of game number 1 of Senior Ladies IPT 2021. And so epic that we are back there. We see Charles Joubert, umpired many finals at Olympics, at World Cup, at Pro Leagues, at you name it. So much experience.
Lovely to have her as third umpire for the first game.
Just to have her as a reserve umpires.
I'm sure the umpires definitely are thrilled when they see her sitting there and getting advice from it between all the chuckers, and just really helping their confidence and making sure that they officiating the game correctly.
But also, I think the value of having just part of the umpiring team for the whole team throughout the week. You know, learning from them, learning the tricks of the trade from somebody who's umpired literally. I don't think there's any more that she can do as an umpire. She's done so well, and you know, so it just to draw on that knowledge and experience from her is something that if I was an umpire in this situation would definitely be chatting to all the time, finding little things here and there. I know what the umpires used to do, and when I was umpiring at IPT, we used to have a buddy that would watch a game and we would chat about it. It's just somebody that you can just bounce some ideas off.
Some feedback off.
Maybe not your umpire's manager who you're always getting feedback from, but maybe just somebody else from another point of view. So I think that's definitely something that they always do amongst the team of umpires. And they've got a very good experienced group of umpires here this week. Been looked after by Tanya and Floppy Nell. Dion Nell's also umpired at many international tournaments, so they've been looked after really well. And we thank the umpires for their service this week as ball gets fed in, just comfortably controlled by Henri Stein and Nicolita Blanche. Which are just turning the ball over, but they rather want the ball on that side of the field than down near their boxes. 3.5 minutes to go. They're still searching just to try and get maybe 1 or 2 more from that. They've got this firepower up front. And snuffed out there by Nicolita Blanche.
Good interplay there by Northerns, but unfortunately the last pass just too far ahead. It's gone out for a Pens sideline hit. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. I think it would take a lot of work for Pens to get back into this game.
The one thing we know about the Pens is they never stop fighting. That's the one thing we do know about them. Bryce, I'm going to leave you briefly because I'm going to head down to pitch side. We're going to chat to maybe a player or two or coach. And I'll see you a little bit later.
Cheers, AJ. And they're enjoying yet another attack down that right hand side, really using the right back to get high up and create that overload in that midfield and really stretching the Pens defense. Nice full press here by Northerns, not allowing Pens any easy ball out. And it's a fantastic ball there by Nydia. A nice roll slap straight to Amy Pote, and Amy Pote running straight into the circle entry. Can she find the connection onto the backhand? And she's hit the crossbar. That is so unfortunate. Fantastic direct play there by the Western Province Pens, and unfortunately just not getting the outcome. As we see Noel just turning the ball over to the Northern Blues. Zalfasta have been instrumental in this game today. Kwano May winning the sideline hit there. See, Northern Blues are going to just slow the game down now with a couple minutes to go. Not going to allow Pens to get onto the ball too much. Lovely one-time touch there down the line, just going out, but good by Denalfin Tark there, trying to get players running into space, not taking too many touches. She's done that quite a few times in this game, and it's worked out really well for the Northern Blues. I think one's turned into a goal and the other two have turned into penalty corners. Western Province Pens have a free hit inside their defensive 23. "45 seconds left on the first game of Ladies IPT 2021. Northern's Blues showing their quality, scoring 5 goals and really putting their hand up and letting the rest of the tournament know that they are here and they are looking to compete and to go all the way through to that final. Sam Smuts on the ball for Western Province Pens. A lot of pressure on her, but good left foot pass. Lizay staying on the outside on the right here, but Nicolene Blanche cleaning up. And there we have it. Game 1 done. Western Province Pens 2, Northern Blues 5. Fantastic game to watch. And well done to the Northern Blues for the first victory of Ladies IPT. And it's been thank you for joining myself and AJ. AJ's just gone down to sideline to do on-field pitch, and it's been a fantastic start to the IPT. We look forward to the next 5-6 days of top quality hockey, the best South Africa has to offer. And that's it from me, Bryce West, up here in the commentary box. Thanks for joining. I'll catch you later.
Ladies IPT 5-2 to Northern Blues. Nicolene, well done. Obviously the start that you really wanted.
Yes, thank you so much for that. It was a nice game, and we're happy with the 5 goals. So a little bit disappointing in the 2 goals, but they did well, and we're excited for the next phase of the tournament.
All the teams qualify for quarterfinals. So how as a team do you approach the quarterfinals knowing that you're going to be there? Do you play it in a way that you maybe want to play against a weaker team from another pool, or do you just try and get stronger throughout the tournament?
Well, I think we want to obviously end strong, and I think that if the quarterfinals come, like that's the next tournament that starts. So obviously you want to build confidence and build your momentum into the quarterfinals. But yeah, it doesn't matter actually who you play because it's the next tournament there.
Last thing, you've got a good mix of senior, experienced players and young players. It must be pretty exciting to be able to see the mix of the side of yours.
Yeah, I think that's also nice, and I think like we learn from the youngsters and the youngsters learn from the more experienced people. So it's nice, and I think it's a good balance.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Now we're just going to bring Leanne in. So we're back here. Leanne, you guys were in it for a little bit. Unfortunately, just you lost a little bit. I mean, lots to learn from the game.
Definitely. The first game, competitive game, so unfortunate with the result, but I think it's a stepping stone for our team. I'm looking forward to what's to come.
I mean, looking forward to your games. I mean, you've got some tough games. I mean, it's always good to the 10 side, it's always good to the B side. But I mean, you've got enough quality and strength in that side to upset a lot of the teams here.
Yes, and I think we're going to use that as an advantage. A lot of teams are going to underestimate us, and I think we're going to put them on the back foot.
Yeah, good luck for this season.
Thank you.
Well, that's from me, AJ Sprinsuk here at the first game of day 1. Thank you for watching and see you later.